Little backstory. I've been out of the closet since I was 17 in 2007. When I came out, people in my family said some pretty hurtful things, which I totally expected, being from a Southern Baptist family in, God it hurts to admit this but, Florida. But my older brother at the time seemed very receptive, surprisingly. He told me that if my dad ever gave me any trouble, to call him and he'd talk to him. That was really the last time we talked about it. Flash forward 13 years, I'm 30, and I'm getting married to my fiancée Scott next year in April, if COVID so graciously allows. I started putting a package together of fun things from my brother and I's childhood, all with the intention of asking him to be my best man. However, he called me 2 weeks ago, claiming he's wanted to talk to me about this for a long time. He went into the long tangent about how being gay is wrong and isn't what God wants. He said he thinks Scott is a nice guy and he loves me, but he doesn't think it's right that we're getting married. It was quite a shock as Scott and I have stayed with him multiple times when we visit my hometown. To top it off, and what hurts perhaps the most, he said my 3-year-old niece, whom we adore, won't be coming to the wedding because he didn't want to have to explain to her what was going on here. Notice he only said that she wasn't coming to the wedding. I think he fully expected to still be invited after this. His wife, whom he started dating when I was 12, feels the same apparently. My whole dad's side of the family feels the same way they do, but I've already written them off mostly in my mind. My mother is beyond pissed and upset at them. I think what upsets me the most is a sense of betrayal. They were my safe spot in the family. I felt like because they're close to my age and younger and went to college, they would understand and it wouldn't be a big deal to them. I almost feel a bit embarrassed because Scott comes from a wonderful Italian Catholic family and they've never been anything less than loving and supportive. I told them that, on what is supposed to be one of the happiest days of my life, if they or anyone else is sitting in the audience and in the back of their mind, thinking that what we're doing is wrong or not right, they should just stay home. I know my brother and family love me, but it feels up to a point, conditional and limited. I told them that they learned being gay is wrong, they weren't born not liking gay people. So they can unlearn it if they were willing. But I don't think that's going to happen. Not the idiot. I'm so sorry that your brother has done this to you. He will always be part of your biological family, but he isn't part of your logical family. You and your husband should surround yourselves with people who love and support you on your wedding day and for your life going forward. Bigots don't get a vote on whether they're invited. If you like, you can be the bigger person and say that you're always his brother and you'd be happy to give him a chance at educating himself, but make sure to put a clock on it. This is your wedding, a celebration of your relationship with Scott. You should only invite people that want to celebrate your relationship, not tear it down or say it's wrong. By the way, it's anything but wrong. Love is love, and that's all that counts. What they don't understand, they have to cast down. What it comes down to is what they've been taught will be welcome in the kingdom of heaven. They have been taught you won't be there to bask in the glory of whatever. I'm not religious, so I couldn't care less. So they distance themselves so they won't be disappointed when you're not there. Joke's on them, God loves all his creatures. It's your wedding day and you get to decide who you want at your wedding. If they can't accept you for who you are, then they have no reason to want to go to your wedding. It's not your fault that they can't accept you either, unfortunately it's just how they view the world, and that's their decision to continue viewing the world like that. Invite the people that love you for you and who are willing to support you through thick and thin. That's what true family or friendship is. My neighbor has 5 kids all under the age of 7. The oldest daughter is the only one who keeps an eye on the rest of them and she's just a kid herself. The kids themselves are super sweet, but my neighbors have no respect for other people's spaces and allow their kids to leave their bikes, scooters, toys, and even trash in other people's driveways or lawns. We live in a cul-de-sac. The youngest, who is like 2, threw tissue paper all over people's yards from a gift he received and when it rained, got mushy crud all over yards. When another neighbor asked him or his mother to pick it up, his mother just ignored it. They leave their stuff in my driveway too, to where some mornings I can't get out without moving it myself and throwing it over into the grass, which is still on my property. One morning, when the kids were actually outside with their mother, I yelled to the mother that I might run over the bikes. Can you please come move it? They had like 3/4 bikes and tricycles just scattered across my driveway. The mother started getting annoyed, asking why I couldn't just move it. I told her, because it was her kid's stuff and it should be over on their side, but I might squish it because I either A. don't know it's there until I reach a certain blind spot, or B. I don't want to touch their stuff anymore. She started whining, saying that they were just kids and didn't know better. I never blamed the kids, I blamed her and told her she was just excusing bad behavior on her part toward her kids. I've asked the kids before to move their stuff, but they don't listen to me either. Am I the idiot for threatening to run the toys when they won't stop leaving their stuff over here? Not the idiot. I'm in a similar situation, with one key difference. I've got a neighbor with 4 kids, 6 and under. They're crap, and to be fair, my kids' crap is constantly strewn about my driveway. I've warned my kids, I'll run your stuff over if you don't clean it off the driveway when you're done with it. And I've said the same thing to the neighbor kids and their parents. The key difference is, their parents said yeah, I would too. If they've ever left their crap in your driveway, just text me and I'll send them over to clean it off. And if you accidentally run it over, maybe they'll learn. Which, in my opinion, is the appropriate response. I don't think you should move them or yell at the family to move them again. I think you should take the discarded items inside your house or put them in your car, go to work, and then wait until the neighbor comes over and demands her kid's property back. Then you can explain that from now on, you're going to consider any toys or personal items abandoned on your property as yours, and if she or the kids want them back, they will have to come personally request them at the end of the day. Make it clear that this will continue until the children learn not to leave their crap on your lawn or driveway. One time it's toys that you might run over, the next time it could be a kid. They should not be in your driveway. It's just so dangerous. And the fact that they are dropping their bikes there means you have to check behind your car every single time, and even then there could be a kid running through. You are not the idiot, but in order to keep her children safe, you need to act like one. Insist they stay off your driveway. You can explain that it's for their own protection, but I doubt this mom will see it that way. But insist on it. My boyfriend and I are freshly moved out of our parents' homes and into our own house together. As you can imagine, we're still getting the hang of living on our own and having more financial responsibilities. We live in a 3-bedroom house. Our other rooms are used for things that still haven't been unpacked, storage. My sister and her boyfriend are expecting a baby and need a place to live. They are currently staying with our older sister. Her boyfriend has been homeless all of the 3-4 years we've known him. He isn't exactly a great guy. My entire family has went above and beyond to try to help him and get him jobs and places, but he finds a way to lose every one of them and get kicked out of everywhere he goes. Drama seemingly follows him, and there's always a fight or disagreement when he's around. It's tiring, and my boyfriend is very honest and straightforward and just doesn't like him. I would gladly open my home to my sister and my unborn niece, but she won't go anywhere without her boyfriend. He doesn't respect other people's things, or other people in general, which is one of the main reasons we don't want him here. Am I the idiot for not letting them live here because of him? I thought I was doing the right thing until she told me that she would do it for me, even if she didn't like my boyfriend. We just can't trust that we won't be the ones financially supporting all 3 of them when we are absolutely in no position to do so. Not the idiot. Sure, it is easy for your sister to say, in the hypothetical, that she'd taken you and your boyfriend, even if she didn't like the boyfriend. It is for her, purely hypothetical in a way, to emotionally manipulate you into feeling guilty for not doing what she says she'd do, but has never actually done. Also, be aware that if you take in your sister, even if she agrees the boyfriend won't move in, he'll be moved in within a month. First it will be just an afternoon. Then he just falls asleep and forgets to leave. The weather will be bad, and she'll beg you not to turn him out in the rain. Next thing you know, he's always there, and if you try to make him leave, there will be excuse after excuse for just a little longer, just one more day. It's not just that you don't like her boyfriend, it's that he is an utter drain on everyone around him, and he constantly starts fights with people who try to help him and his family. Add a newborn baby on top of that, and you would be utterly miserable if you opened your home to them. Your sister's emotional manipulation already confirms that. Stick to your position. If any other family members try to make you feel guilty, they're more than welcome to let the trainwreck move in with them. You and your boyfriend are fresh into living together, and that brings a lot of adjustments, sacrifices, and understanding between both partners. You're in no way obligated to open your home to anyone, including family. Your description of your sister's boyfriend indicates that both your sister and her boyfriend have terrible judgment and are irresponsible. I wouldn't give it a second thought. Letting them move in would likely bring nothing but problems and also put a strain on yours and your boyfriend's relationship. I'm an Indian woman who came to the United States on a student's visa and met my ex-husband Dean. My family wasn't happy about the relationship, but eventually relented when they realized we were serious about each other. I got pregnant a few months into our marriage and gave birth to our daughter Asha. After I gave birth I developed PPD, and as a result our marriage suffered and never really recovered. I was on antidepressants. 2 years after her birth my ex-husband got close to his co-worker Laura and they began a 2-year torrid affair. When he eventually got caught, he apologized for hurting my feelings, but claimed he was in love with Laura. We divorced and I was left in the United States all alone without any emotional or family support. The divorce happened in 2017. We shared 50-50 custody of Asha. In the February 2020, I decided to visit my family in India as my extended family had never met my daughter. The original plan was to stay in India for 3 months, but the plans changed as the world got locked down. One day my daughter complained of uneasiness and stomach pain after she had her usual lunch. I gave her a digestive enzyme and asked her to rest. When I went to check in on her an hour later she was gone. I still don't know what happened that day, but after that moment everything was a blur. My sister informed my ex-husband, but because borders were shut he couldn't come to India for the rituals. I cremated my girl according to Hindu rituals and later immersed her ashes in the Ganges, as per our customs. I have refused to take any calls from ex in the past 1 year. I am still dealing with grief. My ex has reached out to me and wants my address to get some of her ashes. I let my sister convey to him that the ashes have been disposed of as per customs. He is now furious and wants me to come back to the United States and give him some of her toys. I have planned on never going back. He already has some of her clothes and toys. I refuse to directly talk to him. That part of my life is over and done. Am I the idiot? You're the idiot. I understand you're grieving the loss of your daughter, but so is your ex. You say what happened to Asha on the day she got sick is a mystery to you and you were there. Imagine how he feels that he saw his daughter off on what was supposed to be a 3-month vacation, is then told she is dead, is then told her remains have been disposed of, and can't even get you to talk to him. If I were him, I would half suspect that Asha is still alive and the whole thing is a ruse to cut her off from him. Please consider talking directly to him. It may not be as painful as you are anticipating. In fact, it may help you to grieve with the one other person who can understand how it feels to have lost your daughter. I am so sorry for your loss, but your daughter died a continent away from her father, and you made all the choices without taking him into consideration. I understand you divorced, but you were co-parents. You had a moral obligation to consider him when making final arrangements. He wants some closure, and you have literally done nothing to help provide that. Had he treated you horribly after her passing, or asked for something unreasonable I would understand. But what you describe is you thinking only of yourself and your grief. Well, it's understandable, it doesn't make you right. This is someone you loved enough to marry and have a child with. You should have shown some compassion to each other. I just cannot imagine what it must have been like for him to lose his daughter and attend her funeral via Zoom. You must be suffering terribly. Imagine how much worse it for him. You or your family should have made sure that he understood the funeral rituals, and you should do whatever you can to bring him some comfort now. I know he was unfaithful and how painful that must be, but you created your child together in love, and that's a bond that cannot be broken just because your child died. You should speak to him and give him some answers. You absolutely owe him that. You're the idiot. My grandma died earlier this week and I've been going through it. I've been dealing with a lot of stuff including starting to clean out her apartment. My boyfriend came down with a cold and doesn't feel well. He doesn't have COVID, he doesn't have the flu, he doesn't have a fever, he just has a cold. So, yesterday I stayed and helped him out with letting the appliance repairman into his house, made sure the person did what they're supposed to do. I stayed until the repair guy left. I didn't make it to my grandma's place until 2 p.m, and that's okay because I agreed to help him out. I made him tea, lemon water, soup, and I made sure he had multiple water bottles near him before I left. I made sure he had everything he needed prior to me leaving so he could be comfortable. I get back to his place last night and ask him how he's feeling, etc. He says he still feels sick and then asks me if I can stay with him tomorrow and take care of him. I said I'm really sorry, but I can't because I have a lot of stuff to do and I'm on a time crunch with the apartment. He was visibly annoyed, and I say I would take care of you and stay if I didn't have all this crap going on, but I really gotta take care of stuff tomorrow. He then says I would make him feel better if I stayed and he would get better faster if he didn't have to get up and get himself things, which he has to do because I'm gone during the day. I apologize once again and stand my ground. I say that I can't stay. So I get up this morning to get ready and head out to my grandma's and he asks where I'm going. I say I have to get ready to go to my grandma's house. He says of course you're leaving me. I say can you please not do this and make me feel bad. He says if you feel bad that's on you, I can't make you feel anything. He then asks me again if he can stay and that I have 12 more days left to clear and clean her apartment and that one day won't hurt. Also her birthday is tomorrow so I wasn't planning on working in her apartment. I was planning on taking the day to myself. Now feel like an idiot because I can't stay with my boyfriend today and take care of him. So, am I the idiot? Not the idiot. Your boyfriend thinks his cold is more of a severe event than your grandmother's death, then gaslights you. I can't make you feel anything, you did that. About having very understandable priorities. He is honestly acting very immature, who can't take care of themselves with a cold. And entitled to your time, and obviously does not care about your feelings, since he basically said he can't possibly be at fault for making you feel bad, only you can do that. Doesn't even sound like at any point he expressed sympathy or apologies for your loss. These are big red flags. Not the idiot. You do not need to take care of your boyfriend. If you had a job you wouldn't be able to just take time off, because you need to take care of him, he needs to rest, and that's really it, not much more you can do for him. Sorry for your loss. I think it's important you spend time to work on her apartment as you have a limited time to get it done. Not the idiot. You are grieving, your grandmother just died and you are trying to organize her stuff. That must be really hard, I'm so sorry that happened. You have my condolences. Men, or the men I know at least, are not good at being sick at all. When my dad or boyfriend have a cold it seems like they are dying or something. He just has a cold and you gave him soup and tea and water bottles. A cold is nothing major or serious, maybe talk to him when he's not sick anymore. I mean it sounds like he's not there for you at all while grieving and he just has a cold.